Hello, once again I'm back on the Reforged test server, just trying to get as much content as I can before they close the test, because I'm not sure exactly when it's going to close. Anyway, as Reforged is coming soon, I do want to try get you guys prepared for the update. So in this video I'm going to be talking about grinding tanks and XP and all that stuff. So first things first, probably one of the biggest questions is what happens to my free XP? Probably been discussed tons of times already, but basically your free XP becomes data cards, which are basically the exact same as free XP. They allow you to use, well, XP on any set that you want, and sets are tech trees, so you can use basically XP on any tech tree you want, which works exactly the same as free XP. Now the conversion rate is 1 to 2. 1 free XP equals 2 data card, well, it's 2 set XP. If you do the calculation here, this is 4.15 million free XP, and each of these is worth 25,000, and this one is 5,000. So if you do all the math, which I did already, it was, well, 4.15 million free XP becoming 8.3 million set XP. So it is a double rate, and the reason for that is that it does cost more to actually unlock tanks using XP, but I'll talk about that more in a minute. If you want to know about all this other stuff, I will be mentioning it in a later video. Just a quick interruption here. A lot of you guys were asking in the previous video whether you should save your free XP or spend it in current blitz. Now the answer to that, for me personally, I would say save. I will explain it now with the maths, okay? So in Reforged, you have to note set XP is worth 2 free XP. If you save your free XP, it becomes 2 set XP in Reforged. That is worth noting. The only tank I can base this off is the RHM Panzerwagen line, going from the RU251 to the HWK to the Panzerwagen, because I have researched every other tech tree, and I don't have the XP costs for them in Reforged, unfortunately. So, based on a fully upgraded RU251, I know it says it's not maxed here, but that's because of the new module system in Reforged. Anyway, based on a fully upgraded RU251, to get to the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, upgrading all modules as well on the way, it does cost 734,600 free XP in current blitz. Now, in Reforged, to get from the RU251 to the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, it costs 1.3 million set XP. So it is actually a bit cheaper in Reforged, because your free XP becomes doubled when it becomes set XP. So if you calculate the difference, to research from the RU to the Panzerwagen in current blitz would be 1.46 million, and in Reforged it is 1.3 million. Now, that is worth noting. That is also counting the researched engine and track modules of the HWK-12, which are not necessary for getting to the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen. So roughly you save yourself 100k there, and it works out to 1.35 million in current blitz versus 1.3 million in Reforged blitz. So not much difference there. What would I advise? Save it for Reforged, because Wargaming has clearly calculated the difference and kind of accounted for that by giving us double set XP per 1 free XP. So I think for the most part, most tech trees will cost the same amount of, well, quote unquote free XP to unlock. You might be thinking, oh well, then what's the point of waiting? In Reforged, you can also unlock premium and collector tanks from sets, so I would say save your free XP and use it on a set where there are some premium tanks you also like and you might spend your gold on, for example. So let's say I have the RU251 and I wanted to get to the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, right? Because of sets, it also unlocks the ability for me to purchase the HWK-12 or the Kunstpanzer or the Krupp 38D for gold. They aren't free, but you know. If I did not have the set XP to actually research to that level, I would not be able to unlock those tanks from the set. And that's the same for quite a few tech trees. For example, if I go to the T28 prototype, let's say I really wanted the XM66F, and I've saved up like 15k gold to buy the XM66F, right? I've got the free XP, I get up to the T110E4, and hey, I can now unlock the XM66F because I have researched that far in the set. So I think it is worth actually waiting for Reforged to use that free XP, especially if you do have some premium tanks you want to buy. I think in general, the use of that free XP, set XP, is a bit more in Reforged than in current Blitz, and the conversion rate for what you actually get out of that free XP / set XP between both versions, I would say, is about the same, at least based on the RU251 example. Obviously, I can't check every tank, but I think Wargaming has accounted for that based on just the fact they give us double set XP per one free XP. But yeah, back to the video. So free XP becomes a double rate, but that is because grinding tanks also costs more. It will take more XP to unlock tanks. Now, before I get into the actual numbers, I want to tell you that Wargaming did deliberately make grinding tanks harder. It was something they wanted to do to stop players reaching tier 10 so quickly, so easily, after they changed the grinding of tanks with the 5.5 update. So they did deliberately want to make it harder for players to reach tier 10. They wanted to make the grind a bit slower. So that is something to note. Now, out of all the tanks in the game, the only ones which I haven't yet researched are the HWK-12 and the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen. So the only ones I can really give as an example are, well, researching from after the RU251. So if we go to the set, I'm at level 50. The Panzerwagen is at level 100. If I want to increase my set level to 100, it is going to take me 1.3 million set XP, which I know 100% is a lot more than current Blitz. But again, it's worth noting, the way you earn XP in Reforged is different. It's going to be easier to earn 1.3 million XP in Reforged than it is in current Blitz. So don't think, oh my word, 1.3 million is so much more than current Blitz. It's insane, it's going to be impossible to grind tanks. Yes, it's harder, but it's not going to be the same as earning 1.3 million in current Blitz. I just want to get that out there. Now, with regards to how you earn XP, I believe Wargaming has actually increased how much XP you earn on tanks by default. I'm not sure by how much, but I think it is increased compared to current Blitz. On top of this, if you want to make grinding even easier for yourself, you could play ranked battles, which do give you an XP grinding bonus starting from the silver rank. You get 5%, then at gold you get 10, diamond you get 15, and then fortium you get 20, master and beyond you get 25% extra credits, XP, all that. 25% is a lot. It cuts down your grind time by, well, a quarter basically, and even if you don't manage to reach such a high rank, still, the lower ranks will give you basically a discount on grinding. So that will help you make the grind easier. On top of this, the way you grind sets is also going to be different to the way you grind a tech tree. Right now, when you grind a tech tree, let's just go to the tech trees here, just as an example. So you can see the RU251 down here. 1 second, I will turn on the mouse capture so you can actually see what I'm doing. So right down here you can see the RU251, right? The HWK and the Panzerwagen are locked. I haven't unlocked them yet, so I will need to be playing to be able to grind the XP to get these tanks. If this was current Blitz, I would be able to only play the RU to actually be able to get the HWK next, and then after getting the HWK, I would only be able to play the HWK to get the RHM. That's a lot of games in a single tank, and maybe I don't like playing the RU, maybe it's painful to play for me, and I just don't enjoy its gameplay, so having to grind so many battles just to get the HWK would be quite annoying, and especially as the XP cost has increased. However, because sets have added kind of a new system for you to grind tanks, that's no longer going to be the case. So if you go to sets, you can see all the tanks in the set, right? You've got the Luchs, the Krupp, the Leopard, VK28, Kunstpanzer, SP1C, HWK30, and the RU. I've got these all unlocked, meaning I can use them to grind the XP for the HWK. Also a few more tanks back here, the Agent Aufklärungs and the Leichter Kampfpanzer. But yeah, basically, because of sets, I can use any of these tanks to actually grind up the RU-251. So instead of only being stuck to one tank to grind that tons of XP for the next tier, I can play whatever tank I want. Like for me personally, I really like playing the SP1C. I think it's a pretty fun tank. And occasionally, maybe I'll drop down to tier 5 and play the machine gun Leopard, right? You can grind the XP for your RHM from those tanks. You won't have to be stuck to the RU-251. On top of this, it's worth noting, you need credits to unlock the modules of tanks. It's no longer XP. So, you might have to play a premium tank to, unlock the modules for your tanks. In that case, I might have the HWK-30, right? Play the HWK-30, make some credits, right, to unlock the modules on my RU-251, but while I'm playing the HWK-30, I'm still earning credits, and because this is the same set as the RU-251, it's still going to be going into the RHM. So, there's just different ways to earn credits in Reforged, so making 1.3 million credits, which you need for the RHM, is not going to be the same as making 1.3 million credits for the RHM in current Blitz. I hope that clears things up. I hope that clarifies things. Unfortunately, I don't have battle results to show because the game has gone and deleted them all for some reason, which is annoying, but oh well. But yeah, basically, multiple ways to earn XP in Reforged. Grinding tanks in general has gotten a bit harder, that is worth noting, but that is intentional by Wargaming. So, in conclusion for this video, for all of those who couldn't be bothered to watch the longer explanation, what's the TLDR? So, firstly, your free XP changes into data cards, which is set XP at a 1 to 2 rate. So 4.15 million free XP became 8.3 million set XP, which you can use on any set in the game. It works the same as free XP. Now, next, modules are unlocked with credits, so you need to be grinding credits on your collector or premium tanks to unlock modules, but it does mean you can save up and get all modules as soon as you unlock a new tank. You don't have to wait and play it stock. Also, one more thing to note is that stock modules don't have a massive difference to top modules anymore. Generally, they're going to be pretty close. As you can see here, it goes up by 10 alpha, 5 alpha, and then, another 5 alpha, and then another 5 alpha. It's not a massive difference compared to, like, current tanks. Next, grinding has gotten harder. Yes, it is going to take more XP to unlock the next tier tanks. It's going to take some more grinding, more battles to unlock new tanks, but that is intentional by Wargaming to slow down new players rushing to the higher tiers while still being really too inexperienced to actually get the hang of them and play them properly. It's basically them trying to fix the mistake of 5.5, which allowed players to rush up the tiers too quickly. So yes, grinding has gotten a bit slower. But the ways you earn XP in Reforged do make it a bit easier. So for me to go from the RU-251 to the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, it costs 1.3 million XP in Reforged. In current Blitz, it's much less, but earning that 1.3 million XP in current Blitz is going to be a lot harder than Reforged, just because you don't have the bonuses to XP earning that tanks get in Reforged, you don't have the bonuses to XP earning from ranked battles, and you don't have the ability to play any tanks within a set to be able to earn XP towards that top tank. For example, I could play the HWK-30, I could play the tier 4 Luchs, and I could still be earning XP towards my Rheinmetall Panzerwagen. But yeah, that is the long and short of it. I hope it's been helpful. If I've missed anything and you guys want to inform each other in the comments, go ahead. And yeah, thanks all for watching. I'll try explain stuff. If you have any ideas, write it in the comments. I'll try do a video on it as soon as possible, hopefully before the test ends. But yeah, that is it. Thanks all for watching.